Black Widow, starring Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh.
Yes.
She was really worried.
Why?
She was because of all the people that were attacking her when she first got the role. And she was just like, man, I'm worried. I don't know if I'm going to do a good job. I don't know if it's going to impress people. She was really concerned because Scarlett Johansson's like, chill, you got it. You nailed it.
She nailed it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
1080p liked her better than she liked Black Widow.
Yeah, she was the star of the movie to me.
No, I'm talking about total, period.
Yeah.
Since she's been watching MCU.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
So, man, Black Widow, what were your expectations going into it? Because I can tell you right now, my expectations were low since this was supposed to come out last March.
I mean,
I stopped caring a long time ago.
My expectations were already low, given the idea that this movie was going to be set between Civil War and Infinity War. And I kind of felt like, damn, I get it. This is supposed to fill in the spots of her character and kind of flesh her out a little bit more, but I kind of was like, man, was it too late for them to do a Black Widow movie? So I kind of went there with that idea, like, and that made me like less interested because I'm like, well, this is going to turn out to be like a phase 2 movie or something like that, And I was just like, is this really, really going to be good? So I went in with very low expectations because of that.
Yeah, I can see it. So, as far as the movie goes, I don't know if we should go over the whole entire movie. I just don't know.
Yeah, we can just go hit on what really stood out the most, which is
so initially family. So initially we kind of see Scarlett Johansson. Like he said, this movie takes place in between Civil War. So I don't know if you guys remember, Scarlett Johansson fought on Iron Man's team. Mm-hmm. And then Captain and Bucky were making it to the thing, and she was right in between the two of them. She had a small talk with Cap. She tases Black Panther and lets them get on the ship and get away. Now she's a fugitive. Iron Man says some fucked up shit to her in the building. Like that double agent thing. It's just in your blood, isn't it? Like, I was just like, God damn, Tony, you are fucked up. If you didn't die and redeem yourself.
You asshole.
Straight up asshole. Always finds the most messed up thing to say. And then when we see her again show up with Cap to save Wanda and Vision. Yeah. So if you're wondering where this movie takes place, it takes place in between that section of time where we didn't see her.
Yeah.
So she goes on the run and she reaches out to a guy named Mason that we meet for the first time. Cool guy. Mm-hmm. And he gives her some mail from Budapest. And while that's happening, or prior to that, we actually see Yelena for the first time.
How did you feel about the opening?
The widows.
How did you feel about the opening, though?
I'm trying to remember how the opening was.
Well, them being kids, and they had the
opening was it was pretty. First of all, I didn't know that was Scarlett Johansson's character. Mm-hmm. I mean, like a couple minutes into it, I kind of was just like, I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be Scarlett Johansson's character, especially since they didn't want to say her name this whole time until the end. But I thought it did a good job of making it seem like she's been an aggressive fighter the whole time since she was a kid.
I thought it was an interesting way to get another type of backstory on her, and it really kind of made me connect with her just a little bit more, just because of how she had to be raised in that type of like. Wasn't even a family, just raised on a mission, so to speak. So I thought that was really interesting. And I thought it was a cool way. It was a cool way for Marvel to open up a movie. It kind of felt like they opened it like a James Bond movie, so to speak. Because the whole intro and everything, I thought the music was great. And how it was like kind of flashing through
a lot of people were really mad about that rendition of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Why?
A lot of people are like, yo, come on now.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought it was all right. But I mean, people were not happy about it.
It was all right, man. It was cool.
So we did see Alexei for the first time, and we kind of see him throwing things around. We see that he has the super soldier serum. If you don't know, he's the Russian version of Captain America.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool seeing him on the plane wing shooting and things like that. And we see Melina for the first time. We see the whole family unit.
Yeah.
And she seems like a good mother initially.
Yes.
But yeah, so the intro was kind of jarring. We see that, like, you know, they take both of the kids. I was just like, God damn, like that's foul. Yeah. But you know, we see Yelena. She's trying to get one of the widows that's kind of went rogue, and then she get hit with the spray, and then I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? For a minute there, I didn't understand what happened. Yeah. Until I was like, was she under mind control, and that just broke her out of it? Yeah. That was the only thing that made sense to us when we were watching, and that tended to be necessarily what happened. Yeah. The escape scene was actually pretty cool.
It's crazy, man. I feel like just the widows and just seeing how just on sight they are with everything. It's like no question asked. They just move. I really love that.
So we see she put the thing in the mail, and apparently that was part of the mail that Scarlett Johansson was going to throw away. She gets attacked by the Taskmaster. How did you feel about this fight scene right
I thought it was a really, really great scene. They handled it very, very well. It shocked the hell out of me when the car got blown like to the side.
I knew something was gonna happen.
Not like that quick. I was just like, well, damn.
I knew it. I knew something was coming.
But
I didn't think it was gonna be because of the stuff in the mail. Because I didn't even know she was really gonna take the mail to the trash.
So I thought that was pretty cool, and how they handled that whole scene just really gets to show how, you know, how much of a beast Black Widow actually is when it comes to handling these dire situations where we're like, yo, you should have been done. You know what I'm saying? And the whole fake out how she gave him the box back and then dipped into the water with the vials. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was genius. That fight scene was cool. I really like when she kind of was down on the ground and the Taskmaster was down on the ground and you could see it was analyzing her body. I was just like, yo, that's fire.
Yeah.
So she did get away. She goes to Budapest. And
I gotta ask you, do you think this whole time, did you think the whole story about Budapest sold to you? We've been hearing about countless movies. We've heard about, felt like Budapest. Budapest this, Budapest that. Like, did it sell?
Apparently she did some fucked up things in Budapest. She killed the kid. I mean, goddamn.
I'm just saying, like, I was happy to get the story, but at the same time,
let's clarify something. In Budapest, right? Didn't Hawkeye show up there to kill her?
Yes.
He showed up in Budapest to kill Black Widow. He let her live, and then they both fought together to get out of there alive.
Yeah.
And she was trying to take down the Widow organization. I guess once he found out what she was trying to do, he was down to help her.
And that was her way in
down the Widow organization. She defected. They got out of Budapest alive. They've been friends ever since.
Yes.
The whole series. Like, if you watch the series, if you wonder why she was willing to sacrifice herself, it was always because he sacrificed himself he sacrificed her by letting her stay alive. She didn't want him to die because he still had something to live for. He had family. She had nobody because she can't have any kids either. Funny joke that got brought up later.
That description, she was just like, she went in all. No, like,
hold on, man. Hold on. Let's talk about that. So let's backtrack. So she, you know, we see Natasha show up at the apartment in Budapest, and she's about to sneak into the door. I think this was our first hint to Yelena's amazing personality. I know you're out there.
Yeah. That was pretty funny because it was just so like nonchalant. Like, it was just like, come on. I don't know why you doing this.
We did the same goddamn training.
Come on now. We both know what's about to go down. And
they stole each other's guns. They fought. They whooped each other's ass.
I thought it was great. It was just like, you know, that brother, sister, brother kind of relationship. We always fight when we was younger, and now that we really scrapping.
Well, I think it was more so like she said, she didn't know she could trust her. That's the only reason they
fought. But still,
I think
when
Natasha
they were fighting,
was trying to see how. I think Natasha wanted to see how her fighting went.
I think so too, because when she threw her and she bounced off the wall twice, then I was like, oh damn, hold on, let me get back into this. She had her up on the curtains and she grabbed the curtains and everything. I was just like, oh yeah, I don't think Natasha actually expected her to be up to par like that. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, so that whole thing was cool. They had a cool conversation about, you know, hey, why don't you get it to one of your scientist friends?
because she's an Avenger and everything like that. Yeah, I like that. That's another thing that I liked about the movie, how it acknowledged, everything about Black Widow without like blatantly put it into the viewer's face. It was just through casual conversation and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So throughout the whole film, I loved how they did that, because you kind of thought about, dang, since she was doing all this, nobody contacted her, nobody did this, but you kind of saw that gradually about why they did that through the whole movie, and I thought that was really genius.
Yeah, so from that, we see the widows try to attack. They get the hell out of Dodge. Cool escape
How
scene.
did Black Widow survive that drop and land?
Bruh. My neck and my side were hurting when she hit that fall.
Boy, I was like, God damn.
I felt really bad for homegirl that didn't have anything to affect her fall, though.
She tried to save her too. I'm like, girl, you can't be under mind control that hard. Don't you want to live?
No. Dude told her to jump. So she jumped. But they got away. I mean, the whole chase with the Taskmaster was
good.
Cool.
Gosh, didn't care about nothing.
The discussion of them driving in the car. What's your plan?
Yeah.
My plan is to get us out of here. That's a shit plan. Like, I really like Yelena's attitude.
I'm telling you, it was on
she
point.
Stuck the steering wheel, whipped the car around, made the thing break out just to take out the dryer. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Like, just the whole thing. And then even after they finally got away,
when they were in the gas station,
she was talking about the vest. When she was in the car.
Yeah, the vest and how many
like,
pockets.
Don't you like the vest?
Yeah. I didn't pick that up. That was the vest that she wore until the end of the movie. I was just like, well, damn.
No, I'd caught it. I was just like, oh, she's going to give it to her.
Because we were asking questions the whole movie. Did she wear that vest in Infinity War?
Yes.
And we was just like, I don't remember. But I thought that was a neat detail too. But I love the part where they were in that gas station. Oh, yeah, and she was just like, why you do the landing and you just flip your hair up like this? Like, I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Did you hear her reason why that was in the movie?
Why?
So apparently when she was training for the movie role, they told her she needed to come up with a landing.
Oh.
And they were like, so if people are fighting, like she's talking to the trainers and, the stunt people. Like, so you're really fighting somebody. Would you land like that? They're like, absolutely not. You'd break your back, your wrist, your shoulder. They're like, it's like the worst way to land. And she said when she was on set in between takes, she was talking to Scarlett Johansson, and she's like, what's your landing gonna be? She's like, I don't know. Your landing is stupid. You're gonna because you break your back and this and that. And she's just like, and she's lecturing me. I've been doing this thing for over 10 years.
That's great.
And the newcomer is telling me this.
That's great.
And the director and the writer are sitting there watching this conversation and said, that's going in the film.
That's what's up. See, I love stuff like that because that seemed natural and organic and everything. And to us as the viewers has been
just
watching
to fast
this.
forward when she did the landing.
Oh my gosh, she was like, shit. I don't know.
She's like, like she was like I watched the scene back in slow motion.
Oh, for real? I got to do that.
Because I don't know if the light cuts back off, because when she comes in, the light comes on so you can see her reaction, and then the light cut back off. So that's what made it even funnier, because she lands and then she's like, and when she got up against the wall, the light cut back off.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
She killed this role, by the way.
She really, really, really did, man.
So let's talk a little bit about Alexei, man.
Go to the prison-scape, man. What do you think about that?
How do you feel about David Harbour?
I thought he was fucking hilarious. He killed the part, man. That whole prison scene where he was doing the arm wrestling and everything, especially against the last guy. I was like,
arm wrestling, arm fighting, yeah, whatever.
Arm wrestling, yeah. And I was just like, good God, my hand and everything. But I thought it was really cool because I like how they adapted his character to the MCU to where he's more complaining about that he never got to fight Captain America. And we're in the comics, he really did get to fight him, but because of the MCU, he really didn't get to fight him. So I like how
telling all of these stories in jail.
Yeah, and I
that's
really
why he
love
broke
that.
the dude's wrist. Because it's like, hey, Captain America was in ice when that happened.
Yeah.
Crack.
And I love that because it just added so much to his character and just how he really wanted to be and everything like that. The Red Guardian and everything like that, but he never got to be because of what was the guy name? The main
it starts
antagonist, Della. What was his name? I forget it, and he's not on there.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, the main bad guy, because the main bad guy, he didn't let him live out his dream, and he just put him in prison. Huh? Oh, Dreykov. There you go. Okay. My fault. I didn't see it.
Did you know? And I didn't notice. It was in a video I watched. Loki mentioned Dreykov in the very first Avengers movie. When he was going into her head when she was trying to stall, he told her, like, you know, you killed Dreykov's daughter. Like Loki said this in the
he didn't say Avengers daughter. He just said
child.
The child. No, he said the blood of Dreykov or something like that.
No. He mentioned something about
He didn't say child.
Yeah.
He said you are the daughter of
He
Dreykov.
did mention that you're the daughter, but
but he didn't say he killed his daughter though. He said the daughter of Dreykov because she literally was a daughter of Dreykov.
I mean, she's a widow, so everybody that's a widow is technically a daughter. And then I could swear he said something about how your ledger is full of blood.
Yeah, that's what he said.
There's a lot of blood on your hands, and you could see it bothered her, but she still was down with the mission.
And I thought that
was a cool call.
That was a strong callback because it actually connected with the films before and everything like that, and kind of
and
solidified.
That's what 2005.
No, 2008 or 9 or something like that. Yeah.
So just the fact that they made sure that stayed connected. I thought that was actually really
great. Really great.
So the prison break scene, the fact that Black Widow did the landing.
Yeah. And it was fire though.
It's always fire. It's always fire. But just the fact that her and Yelena are kind of arguing while this thing is happening about how she's handling the plane.
Yelena had the most G scene in the whole movie. Oh, you shooting at me? Let me put this thing in neutral and let me go put a rocket. Like, yo, just the way she did that so calmly. I'm like,
and then she calls the ambulance. And what did she say? This will be a cool way to die.
Yeah.
That's her fucking response.
Yeah.
So, they get him out and he's talking about how much he misses them.
Yeah.
But what he really cares about is did Captain America talk to Natasha about him?
That shit was hilarious, Joe. And they just like, oh my gosh. Like,
the whole like, I thought you had got out, had some babies or something. And Yelena lets him know that her uterus was removed.
It's all gone.
Real uncomfortable conversation.
She gave the whole description and everything. I was just like, well, damn.
He's like, yeah, you don't have to be nasty. And she's like, well, I was about to get into fallopian tubes. I was just like, oh, goddamn. And then remember, she's like, we're almost out of gas. We won't make it to Melina. And then he's like, we'll make it. And the next scene is the whole plane crash. Bruh. There were so many fun, and then when they got off the plane, they looked mad as fuck. Except for Alexei, he didn't look mad.
Yeah, he didn't look mad. I thought it was cool.
So they go see Melina. We find out that Melina is actually still alive.
Yep.
They have a really cool scene where they're kind of having dinner. You can clearly see that Yelena is bothered by this whole thing, and we didn't necessarily 100% get 100% answer why until a little bit later.
Yeah.
Alexei has to put on a costume.
I thought that was great. That whole dinner scene, just because it was emulating what a family reunion should be like, but at the same time, it's not your typical family. It's not the usual circumstance, but at the same time, it was perfect for their circumstance. Like, even though that they didn't really have no blood ties or anything, they still grew up with each other. They still have that thing. And I think Yelena held on that to the most because that was the only piece of life that she's had in her life. So the way that it stuck with her really resonated with me just because of how she killed the acting there too. Because it was just...
Stop this bickering. You guys are my family.
Yeah. And
I never saw you guys as anything else.
Exactly. And I think that means more than just everything that's put on there.
Means more than... So who does family mean more to? Yelena or Dom?
Yelena. Dom looks up to Yelena. Okay. But yeah, man, I really love that. The whole talk that she had with Alexei, and they kind of start singing American Pie and everything. I really love that.
By the way, I just want to point out, I fucking love that song. When I used to work at Farm Fresh, that song would come on all the time when I was stocking the goddamn deodorant aisle. And I would just sit there and just sing along. It's such a great song. And I just love the fact that that song kind of fit like that was like the end of Natasha's innocence again. Like, you know, this will be the day that I die is part of the lyrics. And this fake American dream is the idea of the song.
Yep.
It's a great
It fit really, really well with the context of the story.
And then Smells Like Teen Spirit is played when she goes back into the song. You know, I'm telling you, man, they really put some thought in. For all the people that be hating, I just don't think you guys take time to really think about some of the things that you miss out on.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you said, Yelena leaves the table. Her and Alexei have a cool conversation. And then we see Melina and Natasha have a conversation. And she tells them that the Red Room will be there soon.
Yeah.
We don't see that there's a plan devised, but, you know, Natasha's not stupid. She knew that they were probably alerted right away. They had a whole flip of a plan. They get captured and get taken to the Red Room. Now, the guy's name was Dimitri?
Dreykov.
Dreykov. You know, he gets Melina to talk back, and we see Alexei and Natasha in the cell, and then we see Yelena on the table about to get her brain cut open. Yeah. And Dreykov recognizes that is not Melina.
Yeah.
Like he said, if you know one of your daughters, you know that when they're not being truthful. And he took her mask off, you know, the future style mask that she used in Civil War. No, Winter Soldier.
No, Civil. Oh yeah, you're right.
And Winter Soldier.
That
was the first time we saw Natasha use that mask.
Yeah.
And you know, we get the whole conversation about what happened with Taskmaster and the reveal of Taskmaster. Some people were really mad.
That was my first disappointment.
Why is that?
One, because Taskmaster is such a dope character, and not even just the comics, but
the character's not done. Coming back.
Listen, I felt like it kind of, I get it, you know, it kind of brought, you know, her story full circle and everything like that, but I don't think it was absolutely needed for her to be Taskmaster. And I kind of think that it just kind of devalued the villain just a bit, because I don't know. I just really didn't like.
I don't know and say all of that, bro. You got to give me a reason.
I don't like the choice. I don't think it was a great choice to fit with the story, and I felt like it was just made to happen just because they wanted of some way to her connect with the villain. I just feel like with all the high story points that the story had, the whole movie with Black Widow, this was the lowest one. But I still enjoyed the idea of Taskmaster in the film. Like everything that Taskmaster did and all the scenes were great. I just kind of felt like this didn't need to happen. But it made sense in terms of the story, but I didn't like it as much as I liked everything else. So that was my only disappointment with the movie, is the fact that I kind of feel like it devalued Taskmaster just a bit. And yeah, if Taskmaster come back, okay, I'll be willing to see what happens.
Ain't no if. It's like, it's Taskmaster.
But I'm just saying, if or when, whatever, I'll be open to see what they can do with the character. But right now, it just doesn't seem like Taskmaster will have that much of a value and renown that it had in the comics. What I'm saying,
they're not following the comics anymore.
I understand that, but when you want to try to make of a character of that, I feel like MCU has had these kind of villain issues to where they give one thing about them that has just a really weird, unnecessary trade-off, and I feel like that was just unnecessary to link them two together, in my opinion. So, but I still like what they did, you know, with, you know, everything with the villain itself. It wasn't strong to me.
Okay, well, I loved the reveal of the Taskmaster, and let me tell you why. Because I think for the simple fact that this was one of the first times where we see Natasha having to come head to head with the consequences of her decisions. So once we see that, you know, that she blew up the building with the kid in the building, and for her to come face to face with somebody that survived and now is going through what she originally went through, not having any choices or options with what they do, they're copying. And not only that, you got to remember what he said to her. He said, she can fight just like all of your friends.
But
was that really intentional?
But was that an ability or was that the AI? That's another thing I had
I'm assuming it was the AI just because they didn't tell us. So like I said, I'm assuming they didn't tell us because we saw it written on the screen or whatnot.
The visor.
It's not like the visor. It's not like she needed the helmet to breathe or anything like that because she took it off and was perfectly fine. So I don't know. All I know is that she was copying all of her friends. So everything Natasha loves, she had to fight and brought it in this person that she attempted to kill.
But Taskmaster is a merc, though.
I don't give a fuck about what the comic book said.
But I'm saying that's such a better storyline because look.
To you, I let you talk, bro. I let you talk. I let you talk for 10 minutes about it. All right. So look, we see her think she took down the Red Room, and then she just buried all of this stuff behind her. Now she comes literally face to face with the consequences of all of her decisions. I thought that was great. I thought it was genius, and especially since you saw it fuck with her so bad when she's about to leave this building and the Taskmaster is stuck in the room, and she's just like, I want to let you out, but you can't try to kill me. I want to make this right. I fucked up.
Well, she didn't say you can't try to kill me. She's like, I'm not going to try to kill you.
But it was just like, that was probably some of the best acting I thought Scarlett Johansson did.
I can agree with that.
I really felt that pain. Like, God damn it, you're going to try to fucking kill me as soon as I hit this button. And it was really deep, and I really enjoyed that. And just that whole scene with her and I want to say Demetrius, but Dreykov. Just the whole thing with him, like the whole conversation, the whole, you're smelling my pheromones, try to kill me. Here, take the knife, try the knife. Yeah, here, use your gun. Like he was really
feeling himself a lot. He was just like, you ain't gonna do nothing. I got control of you.
No. Try the knife.
Yeah.
Try the knife. Just the way he was. It's like somebody inviting you into the baker, like, hey, try the muffin.
But she was selling her acting as well, since she already knew that was going to happen. Like, so she sold that part, and I think that's another remarkable part that Scarlett Johansson always nails Black Widow, because she's done that before, where she feel all vulnerable and stuff, and then she'd be like, okay.
That's what she did in the first Iron Man. The first
Avengers.
Yeah, where she's talking to Loki and she acts like her heart is hurt. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, thank you. And he's just like, oh, you're not bothered? I'm a double agent, honey. That stuff doesn't bother me.
And I love that. And she's always stuck to that character, which made it really, really dope to see. But regardless of my idea about Taskmaster.
Oh, we're back on the Taskmaster.
That whole last scene with them running out of the Red Room crashing down was fucking amazing. Like I wanted to, when they were like jumping, skydiving and everything, and jumping off the whole thing while it was crashing down. I thought that whole sequence was amazing, just because we gotta remember, these ain't no superpower people. These are just some highly skilled, athletic killers. You know what I'm saying?
The God of Lightning doesn't need ibuprofen.
So the whole time I'm just like, yo, this scene is amazing. I look back at the trailer, they spoiled that whole scene. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad I never watched the trailer. They spoiled everything.
The only thing I've seen from that trailer is when she lands on the thing and then the Taskmaster kind of comes on with a sword.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even watch the original trailer.
Yeah.
It's just the movie took so long to come out. Like sometimes I would watch videos from Comic Cast and he would run the trailer in the background.
That's why I never watched.
And I would just listen.
I've been doing that a lot after watching MCU movies. Like I'll go back and watch the trailers that I didn't watch, and it's just like, I'm so glad I didn't watch these trailers.
I'm pretty sure those weren't the original trailers. These were the, all right, we got to show something. Because we've been pushing the movie back for like 6 months now.
Yeah. So what do you think about the whole end credit scenes and everything like that?
Whoa, man, end credit scene. Hold on, just back up just a bit.
We basically went through the whole movie.
Nah, because once we get to the ground, we see everybody. The Taskmaster, and Natasha had a little scuffle. Just one more little scuffle.
Wasn't that much? It was like 2 minutes.
And then we get to see everybody kind of go their own way. The Widows showed up. They took Taskmaster. Yeah. And they came back for Yelena, Melina, and Alexei. Mm-hmm. And they kind of all go their way. And we see Natasha. She takes the vest and then she goes her own way as well. We don't necessarily see where she went initially, because she said she was turning herself in, but that's obviously not.
We're gonna leave it open.
Yeah. So then we see that my man Mason has got her the helipad or the helicarrier from Avengers that her and Iron Man and Falcon show up in Infinity War when we see them. So we see how she got it. Captain America. Yeah. And we see that she's dyed her hair as well. So her hair.
They hinted to that earlier in the movie too. I don't know if you caught that.
You said they what?
They hinted to that earlier in the movie too.
I mean, I was pretty sure that they were gonna show.
No, I'm just saying I like how they hinted to that earlier in the Black Widow film that she was going to change her hair color. I thought that was a nice addition.
But Mason was actually, that conversation they had was really cool right there. He got, see what I could get you when I got time.
Mason wants some credit, man. He want a kiss on the cheek.
Mason wants some booty.
He wants some cheeks. All right.
Mason wants some booty.
He's like, come on, I do all this stuff for you. Hell yeah, I'm sensitive.
Well, we actually watched a video where he talked about his character, and he's like, it's kind of hard when you love a character, when the love of your life is an assassin. So apparently he's in love with her, but she's more like just a friendship relationship. So I thought that conversation was cool.
Yeah.
And she said she was going to break out people. So basically we know she broke out everybody from Civil War, and then they go on a run. So after that, we get to the end credit scene where we see her at Natasha's grave. I don't know where it is, but it looks like it's where her mom was buried, because it's next to a whatever tree that
Dracoff.
Whatever tree that Dracoff said that, because that was fucked up when he was talking to her about where her mom was buried.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. He was just like,
it was under a beautiful tree, a purple flowered tree. But we see that Natasha's grave is under a purple flowered tree. So I'm assuming her mom, they found her mom's grave, put it there. And we see Yolanda there, and then we see Valentina. We see Val. I don't know you know how I say her whole name?
No. It's complicated, Val. There you go.
Fontaine.
De La Fontaine's, I don't know. Something. Val.
Florence de la Fontaine Valentina. Some shit like that. I don't even know.
Something.
If you try to spell it, it's like 40 letters.
Something.
All right. But she's at the gravesite crying. Now, this is apparently supposed to be the first time we saw her.
Yeah, I remember.
I wonder if they changed the scene a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I was just like, I felt like maybe she would have did a slightly longer introduction. You know what I mean? Maybe they cut it a little bit like, what do you want, Val?
I like it in this rotation, though. I don't mind it. For how she appeared in Falcon first and then this one.
Yeah. So she basically tells her she has a job for her. How about you? I'll give you the thing to kill the person that killed Natasha. And I was just like, so this makes sense, because we heard, or I don't know if you had heard, but I had heard that she was going to be in the Hawkeye show. So it looks like she might actually be the villain, anti-villain. Not sure.
I got a theory about it.
I have a theory too, but I'm not even going to bother to talk about it right now. And obviously she's going to go try to kill Flint. Clint, yeah. And it makes you wonder, like, so is Valentina really kind of making the Dark Avengers? Because in the comics, the girl that she's playing is like a triple agent, but they're not following the comics. So you can't really pay any attention to any of that stuff anymore. Either way, I'm excited to see her. I like Hallie Stansfield. That's going to be playing the new Hawkeye.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah, Kate Bishop. I'm really looking forward to that. She killed the Bumblebee movie. She destroyed it. She did a hell of a job. And it looks like it's time for Clint to pay for his sins in some form or fashion. He killed a lot of people as Ronin. Did some fucked up shit while his family was gone. And he didn't kill Natasha, but you can't tell her that right now. And it should be a really interesting show.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And that was the movie, man. Black Widow, man, it exceeded my expectations, which was I want to say easy to do because my expectations were really low just because I stopped caring because they pushed the movie back so many times.
Yeah.
But it was a really good Marvel film. I feel like it gives Natasha a really dope arc where you see it's this girl that's originally lost and all she does is follow orders to kind of learning that she has a purpose in life. Mind you, being told in the Red Room she had no purpose her whole life.
Yeah.
And she starts to take control of her life, making decisions for herself. And then she sacrificed herself for her friends. The people that, like, the thing that she mourned for the most, because the Red Room taught her she was alone. And she finally made friends, and she sacrificed herself for her friends and to bring everybody back. So I thought that was a cool ending arc for her.
I think this movie kind of made me more accepting of the fact that, you know, she died in Endgame, because I ain't gonna lie.
Because at first it felt kind of empty, right?
It felt empty as hell. But with this, it really gave a full circle moment that, you know, all the things that she's been fighting for and everything, especially like for, you know, redemption and everything, it kind of made that decision more heavy than originally intended. You know, we always knew that she had this heavy burden on her. We just never knew what it was. So for it to come full circle like that with this movie, this was actually a great inclusion. You know, how I said I thought, like, you know, maybe this movie was too late, but it actually worked in the favor of the movie and the whole MCU as a whole. So I thought they did a really, really great job with this one, and it stood out, you know, in its own right, and thought it was really good.
Yeah, and Florence Pugh, she's a beast, and I'm really looking forward to her taking up the Black Widow mantle in a couple years, because she's not going to get it right away. I think she's going to pull double agent again, but it's going to be it's only right?
Yep,
just like
it is.
In memory of her sister. It's only right.
Yep.
And when she finally gets donned that mantle, or maybe they'll change it, maybe she'll be like the White Widow or something like that. I don't know, or Red Widow, that'd be a cool name. But see. Either way, looking forward to that. I will say that initially when you see that Natasha doesn't get a funeral in Endgame, it felt kind of souring, because it's like, I mean, goddamn, she did sacrifice herself and you guys kind of move on, and the only time it's brought up is when Clint is talking to Wanda, and he's like, do you think that, you know, I wish I could tell her that it worked, and then she's like, they know. How did Wanda know? Did she just talk to them through another dimension real quick or something?
Yep, there you go. Plot.
Because but it's just, I just love the fact that Marvel is doing things where they're making you care about characters you thought you didn't care about. I thought I didn't care about Wanda until I watched WandaVision. I didn't think I cared about Vision until I saw WandaVision. I liked Sam Wilson, but I loved him after watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked Loki a lot, but I really like what they're doing with Loki on the Loki TV show. And it's the same thing with Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
Like, I liked her, especially in like the first Iron Man when she kind of whooped Happy's ass in the.
Sure, especially in the second Iron Man.
Oh yeah, that's my bad. That's the second Iron Man.
Yeah.
When she whooped at Happy's ass inside of the thing, and she's changing clothes in the back seat, and she's just like,
she was on business, you know. That's it.
Yeah, Happy takes out the one dude. She done took everybody out in the hallway. Like, Scarlett Johansson's been a badass. She's one of my favorite actresses before she even came to the MCU. So when I found out she was coming, I was really excited. Yeah. I was just like, yo, she's a beast.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's probably done. She says she's done. She says she's content with everything she's done in the last 10 years. So salute to Scarlett Johansson, man. You killed it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nothing else to say.
Make sure y'all go check out the movie. You can watch it from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, it's worth it.
On Disney Plus.
Get it?
And then you can watch it again after that. Because if you go to the movies, you got to go to the movies again and watch it. And you might get COVID, so get COVID with your popcorn.
All right, y'all. That's it.
All right, y'all. Peace.